team comes to the national tournament with dreams of a title. It's a tough, grueling week. Survive and advance is the name of this game. Two teams have weathered the storm. They play next for the right to be called national champion. Welcome to the campus of the College of the Ozarks, everyone. Keeter Gymnasium, the NAIA Men's Division II National Championship game. Walsh University from Ohio takes on Concordia from Nebraska. And hi, everybody. Neil Harwell with you on CSTV. It's nice to have you with us tonight for the National Championship game. What a tough week it is. You have to win 5 games in the span of a week, and here's how they got here. Last night in the semifinals, it was Concordia of Nebraska over Cedarville, Ohio to reach tonight's title game, and the defending champion Oregon Tech was knocked off by Walsh University, and they also reached the title game here tonight. And I'm joined by Doug Elston. This is a lot of fun here at Point Lookout, Missouri, Doug. A national championship on the line here tonight.
Well, it is grueling. 5 games in 7 days, very tough to overcome, and the winner is obviously a champ.
Let's take a look at these two teams. First, Walsh University. How about the big fella at 6'10"?
6'10", 265. Robert Whaley is every bit of that, a mountain of a man. But probably his best asset is his agility and footwork. He has the ability to take over a basketball game. 22 points in the tournament. He will see a lot of double teams tonight to keep the ball out of his hands. But the guards for Concordia, Scott Beck is a winner. All he does from the point guard position is lead the team in rebounds with over 8 and almost 6 assists per game. And his running mate, John Ziegler, very strong with his hands. Loves to get in the lane, penetrate, and score. The combination of two, they love to win games. Only 5 losses out of 37 attempts this year.
Those two fellas have done it for Concordia all season long. We've had fun here in Point Lookout, Missouri. These two teams started playing here last Thursday. Each is trying to win its 5th game in only 6 days. Whoever does that will win this. Starting lineups next. You're watching CSTV. Nice crowd on hand here for the NAIA Division II National Championship game on the men's side here tonight in Keeter Gymnasium. And you are looking at Jeff Young in his first full season here at Walsh University, the American Mid-East Conference Coach of the Year. And for Concordia of Nebraska, there is Grant Schmidt in his 16th season, their 8th national tournament appearance. And he's been there for all of them. Here are the starting lineups here tonight. For Walsh, Jones and Hicks can really shoot it from the outside. The big fella, player of the year, the All-American Robert Whaley down low at 6'10". We talked about Beck and Ziegler, but also watch out for Jason Isha. He can get it done. He's a great all-around player for this Concordia team. And there's the shot blocker, Marcus Wernke at 6'9". He'll be doing battle with the 6'10" Robert Whaley here this evening. Should be fun here from Point Lookout, Missouri, the campus of the College of the Ozarks. Glad to have you with us here on CSTV.
When you talked about Marcus Wernke, Neil, he's got a little bit of a problem that he encountered last night with an ankle injury. We'll see what kind of lift he's got, but he's averaging 5.6 blocks per game in this tournament, which could pose a threat for the big fella Whaley.
And I saw no ankle issues on the jump ball. He got up there and got it nicely. On the offensive end, this is Concordia working with it.
Concordia doesn't do anything extremely well. They do have a tendency, though, to turn the ball over a little bit more than they provide assists for their team. But they always find ways to win, especially in this tournament.
They'll try to control the pace of this game, Doug. In fact, Coach Schmidt talked to us about they like to try to play ugly and win ugly. That's the way they've done it all season long. Ugly's been pretty this season, though. It's 32 wins for Concordia, and that one pulled away by Walsh.
Walsh will come at you with a variety of different angles. Corey Jones and Hicks and Brandon Weems off the bench. All 3 guards really can shoot the ball well, over 40% outside the 3-point line. And then they love to get the ball inside to Whaley and work their offense inside out.
And that is Hicks, Jason Hicks, the 5'10" sophomore from Cleveland, Ohio, the transfer from the University of Akron, as Coach Schmidt looks on. His team at Concordia, Nebraska, has done an excellent job guarding in the half-court set from outside. That shot misses by Sistra. And here comes Concordia the other way. In fact, Doug, in this tournament, nobody has shot 40% or better against Concordia.
Well, they do a good job in the tournament. Their opponents averaging 35% from the field. Very good half-court defense.
Saved right into the hands of Whaley, and quickly up the floor come the Cavaliers. Hicks on the pull-up just inside the arc, and he has the first two of the ball game.
You can see their tempo right now, trying to force more of an up-tempo, a little bit of a 2-2-1 or 2-2-1 full court, three-quarter court pressure back into a man-to-man defense.
And we saw in the shoot-around Concordia working for that very trap, and they break the press handily that time. Here's Ziegler out high, and he dishes off to Isha, and back out high to Wernke.
Right now, Whaley is really all over Wernke out high at 21 feet away from the basket.
And another turnover is forced, and Concordia, Doug, as you talked about, they have turned the ball over a lot in this tournament.
Two areas that could really hurt them tonight. Number one is the turnovers. Number two, any offensive rebounds. Got to keep Walsh off the glass, because not only Whaley but Sistrunk can get in there along with Lesh and really create problems.
Hicks goes right down in deep to Whaley, turns over the great pass, but then stolen away. Out of bounds, though, and Walsh will keep it.
Adam Lesh, number 44, does a very good job of complimenting Robert Whaley. He always goes to the basket when Whaley sees a double team, and Whaley does a good job of passing out of the double team.
And Lesh, who has the ball, is 6'8", Whaley at 6'10". Great size for an NAIA Division II basketball team. Here's Hicks. Off to Whaley, working in the paint with a jump step and a travel.
Even though that was a travel call, you can see the initial signs of that agility we've already talked about. Very good footwork and movement by the big fella Whaley.
Again, the full court pressure. Nearly thrown away. Ziegler over there to capture it, and back to Beck. What a great job that Scott Beck has done handling the point for this team. There's a great pass inside. Shot was blocked away by Whaley.
Looks like he's come to play tonight, getting up and down the floor well. Didn't do a great job last night of altering shots, but already tonight he's making his presence felt.
That was his 77th block of the season. That one is a mortar off the back of the iron and into the hands of Ziegler. We've played just over 3 minutes here in the national championship game in Point Lookout, Missouri. Swing it out high. The shot from outside by Burr, too strong. Tipped up no by Wernke, and ripped away by Whaley.
Concordia very content with getting back into their half-court defense. Really like to play the blue-collar style throughout.
Out high Lesh. Swings it around Sistrunk. First team all-conference for the second straight season is Sistrunk. Into the player of the year.
Wow.
And the All-American drops that one through and one.
Whaley does a very good job right in here against Wernke. He's got a lot of weight advantage against Wernke. He just dips his shoulder in there and gets that slight advantage with Wernke on his hip and powers up to the rim. Very difficult to guard. If they're going to double team, they've got to come quickly and not wait on that delayed double team.
And to the free throw line, Robert Whaley, the transfer from Cincinnati. Before that, he was at Barton County Junior College in Kansas. A much heralded player out of Benton Harbor High School, where he was first team All-State in the state of Michigan. Had the ACL injury at Cincinnati after he started a few games, and here he is for his senior year at Walsh University. Misses the free throw, and it's a 4-0 game, Walsh on top.
Already 2 rebounds by your point guard, the leading rebounder, Beck.
Isha from outside.
Isha's one of those guys, he's very active without the basketball. He's a vocal leader and coach on the floor.
He's had a great senior season. Jason Isha, 6'4" senior from Seward, Nebraska. That's in fact the home of Concordia. That one shot too strong by Whaley into the hands of Burr. And here comes Concordia on the attack. Beck out high working against Hicks. Got a pick from Wernke. And Beck lost the handle, but right to Ziegler. Right down central. Here's Beck with the rebound. And he comes out of the pack. A fresh 35 after the rebound. Ziegler for 3. Oh. And how about Scott Beck at 6'1", the point guard, dug in there to get the rebound. Don't be shocked by that. He's the leading rebounder on the team at 8 a game.
Already got 3 so far in this game. He's always finding the loose balls and ways to get the ball to his open teammates.
2-point lead for Concordia. Sistrunk ties it up.
Sistrunk, very athletic. He's a slasher to the basket on normal occasions, but obviously can shoot off the dribble.
Double teamed in the backcourt. They break it handily to Benjamin Burr, the freshman, and back to Scott Beck. Here's Beck dumping it off inside. Isha, the other side to Ziegler, launches the 3. This one rings out. Sistrunk high for the rebound. Take it away, Warnke, and 1.
Looks like the ankle is just fine, Neil.
We've got timeout on the floor with 14:32 left here in the first half. Concordia out to a 2-point lead after this bucket by Marcus Warnke. You're watching CSTV. Concordia leads it by 2. Saturday at 5, it's the NCAA Division III Men's Championship live from the Civic Salem Center in Salem, Virginia. The field has been narrowed to 4 with 2004 champion Wisconsin Stephen Point still alive and looking for the repeat. Division III Men's Championship Saturday at 5, all part of the NCAA Basketball Championships on CSTV. And to the line, it's Marcus Warnke, the 6'9" senior from Phoenix, Arizona. And his coach, Grant Schmidt, says absolutely that we would not be here without the big guy. And what a tournament he's had. Almost 6 blocked shots a game in the tournament. On the miss, taken away by Walsh. So Concordia up by 2 in the national championship game here at the men's NAIA Division II National Championships in Point Lookout, Missouri, here on the campus of the College of the Ozarks. Whaley inside, misses the shot, but right there is Randy Sistrunk.
It was so difficult because Whaley that time had 3 guys on him, so Sistrunk and Lesh are having their way going to the basket for rebound.
Ziegler to Warnke, who went way upstairs for that one, and he is fouled. And the foul is going to be on Robert Whaley, I believe.
Well, he definitely got some lift off the ankle this time. A good look up top by Ziegler as Warnke goes way up high, and Whaley meets him.
Well, Warnke at 6'9", the senior. Whaley at 6'10", the senior. And you have to do a double take to make sure we're watching small college basketball with these big fellas that can jump on the break. And Warnke gets the first one down, only a 53% free throw shooter on the season. And a lane violation on the second. They wave it off as Jeff Young looks on. His team right now trailing by 1. Last night they defeated the defending national champion from a season ago, Oregon Tech, 77-70 in the semifinals. And Concordia of Nebraska, playing in our game here tonight, defeated Cedarville of Ohio 62-56 to get here. In fact, Cedarville and Concordia played in the semis in both men and women's play last night. That's a unique happening here in the NAIA Division II Championships. Hicks from outside, rebound taken away by Isha. Scott Beck to shape up the offense. Here's Ziegler on the wave out front, pulls up for 2 and drains it.
Tough. Ziegler's already got it going from the outside right now, that time over Whaley.
The 6'2" sophomore from Lincoln, Nebraska, John Ziegler, leading scorer on this team at 15 a game.
Plays very good defense as well. Good hard-nosed defense and already good post defense against Sistrunk.
Oh, Randy Sistrunk is going to work.
They're providing screens for him too, out high to get those free throw line jump shots.
6 points for the transfer from Worcester College. On the wing, this is Ziegler. Off to Scott Beck. Isha. Here's Ziegler, right down central, off glass, can't get it to go. And Hicks knocks it away from the 6'9" Warnke. It will stay with Concordia.
Ziegler's doing a good job of getting free in a variety of ways. Number one, he's constantly moving without the ball, but this time Marcus Wernke comes in and provides a very good screen right there and just picks off Hicks that time, leaving him with about 3 feet over Whaley to hit the wide open jump shot. Excellent screen by Wernke.
Isha out high. This is Steve Coretta that just entered the ball game, the 6-foot senior from Wisner, Nebraska. And here's Scott Beck backing it out. On the pull-up from the elbow and drains it.
Well, they're getting a lot of screens up high and getting wide open shots at the elbow. Pretty surprising, which is going to force the big guys from Walsh away from the basket. They've got to come up and help.
13-10 Concordia here in the national title game. Again, we talk about this tournament, Doug, being so tough to win. Both these teams got started on day 2. That was last Thursday, so they're trying to win game 5 here in 6 days. We've got timeout on the floor with 11:47 left in the first half. Concordia on top by 3. Oh, we got a little one enjoying the action here tonight in the championship game. Doug, we were talking about the 5 games in the span of 6 days. We look at Coach Schmidt. The bumps, the bruises, the fatigue, it all piles up with on you here in the title game.
Well, yes, and Coach Schmidt, Concordia, they go 7 deep, and they don't really spread their minutes around too much. They've got 4 guys averaging over 30 minutes a game here in this tournament, whereas Walsh goes about 8 deep, and they spread their minutes out a little bit more. 3 guys averaging over 30 minutes, and they'll really rotate more guys throughout the game. They're not used to these TV timeouts either. Both teams will get an added advantage and a little bit more rest with those TV timeouts.
Here's Randy Sistrunk, who has 6 points already. And we got the buzzer going off, a shot clock violation, as nobody in the gym knew that the shot clock had run down to that point. Nobody paying attention there, Doug.
No, nobody's paying attention, but again, Concordia with the hard-nosed defense in the half-court set,
which they have done this entire tournament. Beck out high. This is Ziegler. Back to Isha for 3.
Oh, my. That's the one area they needed to get it going tonight, was from the outside. Concordia really letting them have it so far.
And why not? Isha just a 26% three-point shooter on the season. They don't shoot it that well from out there. Only about 35% on the season for Concordia. Wernke corrals the rebound.
Oh, Wernke, a definitive limp going down the floor that time.
But when he needs to go for that extra effort, it looks like it's been there. And he forgets all about the ankle. Here's Ziegler.
Motion offense, screen down, screen away.
Isha off glass. It would have counted. He's fouled on his take. And that foul going against Walsh. And it's going to go against Derek Chappelle. That's his first personal, and it's the 3rd team foul on Walsh here in the first half. And to the free throw line, Jason Isha. Doug, this guy, a wide receiver for the University of Nebraska, the Cornhuskers, under Frank Solich, and he played in the Rose Bowl a few seasons ago.
Yes, he did, and he didn't actually just suit up. He played wide receiver against Miami.
And he drains both free throws here. Largest lead of the ball game for Concordia of Nebraska. They lead it by 8 as Jason Hicks walks it up the floor. Sistrunk. This is Brandon Weems, who just checked in from the outside. Off to Hicks, launches the 3, and buries the 3-pointer. On the other hand, Walsh University, a great outside shooting team with those 3 guards, Jones, Weems, and Hicks. They shoot it at about 40% from 3 range. All 3 of those guys well over 40% on the season. Isha again for 3. This one rings off. Rebound taken away inside by Gehring, who just checked in, and he'll back it out with the fresh 35. Just inside of 10 minutes to play here at Keeter Gymnasium on the campus of the College of the Ozarks. Stolen away by Whaley. Big fella, 6'10" point guard.
No,
Look
he didn't.
out!
No, he didn't just do that.
What's up with that?
Looked like the daddy dribbling down.
6'10", 265 in full effect with a cone drill up the floor that time. 3-point ball game, Concordia.
Got a matchup in. That's a good matchup inside for Concordia at 6'6".
Hicks stole it away from Gehring.
Gehring at 6'6" is one of the outside shooters for Concordia, but he did a good job that time of posting up against Jason Hicks, going at 5'10".
Sistrunk off to Hicks. Going inside, double teamed is Whaley. He slides a pass out to Sistrunk, too strong. Back the rebound.
That's his fourth.
The 6'1" point guard. He could get you a triple-double at any time in any game, but one of them might be turnovers. Here he swings it out. Now it's Ziegler. Little short, and there's the rebound by Beck. Ziegler on the baseline on the other side. 7 points for Ziegler. Back out to a 5-point lead.
Whaley last night in the semifinal game, he probably played 4-minute stretches, which right now is to the advantage of Walsh. He hasn't come out of the basketball game as of yet.
Brandon Weems to Sistrunk. Taken away by Beck with another rebound. The 6'1" point guard. Well, in the tournament, Doug, he's had 9 rebounds in a game, a couple of games where he had 7. He also had a double-double in round 1 with 26 points and 10 rebounds. What, are you kidding me? Over here is Wernke, out high now to Gehring. Beck was posted up that time, but they overshot him. And Jason Hicks, the 5'10" sophomore, what an addition he has been from the University of Akron. Has really led this team from the outside, second team all-conference. Whaley spinning and grinning on the block. He has a half dozen.
Oh, and that was over the top of Wernke that time, who went up very high with very long arms, too.
Well, we told you he was a starter for Cincinnati. I think you see why. Ziegler from outside, and that's a 3.
Good look by Beck. Got up in the air and didn't look like they had a place to pass the basketball, and spotted Ziegler wide open.
Ziegler has 10 points with just under 7 minutes to go here in the first half. His high game in the tourney, round 2 against Flagler of Florida. He had 20 points and 10 rebounds, a double-double of his own. Hicks from outside, oh man!
Tough, just a slight screen that time by Whaley to free up Hicks. They got to get something going from the outside to soften it up inside.
Hicks is 43% from the 3 line this season. He, Weems, and Jones can really shoot it. Here is Ziegler on the baseline. Comes out to reshape the offense with Concordia leading by 3. Scott Beck on the wing. Isha pump fakes about 3 times and draws the foul. The foul will be on Derek Chappelle. That's his second personal foul. As Coach Jeff Young looks on. We've got time out on the floor with 6 minutes left. How about big fella? He's gonna go ahead and get a hand on this one. Who wants to take the charge in Keeter Gym on 6'10" and 265? Not I, said the Elston. We'll be back. We've got a good one going in Point Lookout, Missouri. Concordia leading by 3. And now it's time to highlight today's Heart of a Champion. Ziegler on the pull-up. Wernke on the putback. And he's doing all that on the hurt ankle that we saw him limping around this morning, or this afternoon earlier. And he is getting it done here in the first half. A defensive presence as always. 3 points to go along with that. Not counted on to score big normally as Marcus Wernke, although he did have 19 points in one of the tournament games earlier. In fact, that was in round 1. And now to the free throw line, Jason Isha from Seward High School. Not only was he All-State in basketball, we talked about football. He was also All-State at Seward High School, as Grant Schmidt is well aware of. He was also a hurdler in track and All-State in that. And once again, first team All-Conference, but he misses both free throws here.
When you talk about Wernke, Neil, he's doing an excellent job so far on this ankle tonight. His main objective is to slow down the big fella Whaley inside and to make it difficult for him to shoot over his outstretched arm.
Here's Chappelle backing in, taking the shot up over the top and scoring. The sophomore, Derek Chappelle, with the bucket. We are at Point Lookout, Missouri, Keeter Gymnasium, the campus of the College of the Ozarks, the men's NAIA Division II National Championship game. Neil Harwell along with Doug Elston. Walsh University from Ohio and Concordia of Nebraska. And right now it's a 1-point ball game. Back out high to Gehring. Little strong on his three-point attempt. And the rebound to Corey Jones, the 6'3" freshman.
Again, Beck doing a good job inside, grabbing some loose balls, rebounds, finding guys outside of the arc for open shots.
Lesh goes down low to Chappelle, who's double teamed. Lesh from outside. Rebound to Beck.
Wow. That is amazing how a point guard can get down in there and constantly out-jump the big fella.
I thought I heard him say, I got another one, as he came down with that one. And this one's stolen away in the corner by Derek Chappelle.
Now one of the biggest differences in this game so far, keeping Walsh in the game, is the turnovers by Concordia. They've got 6 points off the turnovers and just 3 by Concordia off the Walsh turnover.
Weems now to Hicks. On the wing, shot clock at 15. Hicks right down the lane and back to Jones as they play with the 3-guard set out front. Weems, Jones, and Hicks, and that one's stolen away by Beck.
Constantly just finds a way. He's averaging 2 steals a game on the season.
Isha pump fakes down the lane and scores it. Isha now with 10. 3-point ball game, Concordia on top. The Bulldogs from Concordia University, Seward, Nebraska. On the pull-up, Corey Jones too strong. And Beck tips it around and pulls the rebound.
He's got to have close to 10. He may have double-figure rebounds by the end of this half.
On the wing, Gehring. Here's Isha. Posted up is Beck. And the foul down low is on Brandon Weems as the 5'9" freshman was trying to check Scott Beck, the 6'1" junior. We have timeout on the floor with 3:20 left here in the first half. Concordia on top by 3. Concordia on top by 3 here at the national tournament, the championship game, NAIA Men's Division II. Saturday at 8, an automatic bid into this year's NCAA tournament is at stake as CSTV Hockey continues its coverage of the only nationally televised hockey schedule in the country with the ECAC Hockey League Championship, and it's live from the Pepsi Arena in Albany, New York. CSTV Hockey, Saturday at 8, TGI Hockey. And right now, a little hoops for you from Point Lookout, Missouri, right near Branson, down
Good
here
screen.
in the Ozarks, off the inbound, and blocked and taken away by Adam Lesh.
Good screen that time by Gary to free Ish, coming to the basket.
Jason Hicks starts the offense with Jones. They work it well, Sistrunk to Whaley. Inside, that one capped in there by Wernke. They're going to call him for the foul. And Coach Schmidt not too happy about that one.
Watch up top to see if Wernke gets the ball cleanly up top with no body contact below. Tough call.
Wernke picks up his first personal foul, second team foul here in the first half on Concordia. And Whaley from the free throw line this season, only 59%. He's been there a lot, 171 times. As he misses the first free throw. Player of the year in NAIA Division II, Robert Whaley strokes the second one home.
Difficult thing for Wernke against Whaley going inside. Whaley does a good job of using that big body and ducking his shoulder to keep Wernke off balance so he can't block those shots like he's accustomed to doing.
Gehring dumps it inside. Great catch by the former wideout, Isha, but he couldn't get it to go. 2-point ball game. Jason Hicks on the attack here.
Concordia has done a good job of slowing the pace of this ball game down to the pace they want. They want the half-court set, work the offense, and play good, solid defense.
Ziegler got a hand and knocked it out of bounds. 19 on the shot clock. And Walsh University will have it on the offensive end. And again, we go back to Concordia has played such great defense in the half-court set, something that Grant Schmidt is very proud of, the way they've handled that on the season. Here's Jones from outside. Not a lot of defense for that.
He can get it going quickly from the outside. Had 14 points in last night's semifinal game in the first half.
Ziegler on the pull-up, and a foul over the back is Wernke, and that's foul number 2 on the 6'9" senior. Yeah, Corey Jones can really stroke it for Walsh University, much like his coach, Jeff Young, could stroke it back in the day. In fact, a lot of people say that Jones reminds, with his shooting ability, of Jeff Young when he played. He's the 3rd all-time leading scorer in Walsh University history. Jeff Young is their coach. Oh, Whaley is fouled inside. And this foul is going against Gehring. Well, Brandon Weems and also Corey Jones are out there. They played high school basketball together. They played it at Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's High School. That may sound familiar.
Well, it does sound familiar. And there's one LeBron James who is was not only their teammate but best friend. And LeBron has been to the first game and then flew Weems out for the All-Star festivities in Denver this year.
Yeah, he and Weems are great friends, and of course Jones in the mix as well. They all 3 played high school ball together. LeBron James in attendance for the first game of the season, as we were saying. From outside, this is Ziegler from the parking lot.
Tough, and flying at him that time out of his right eye was Sistrunk, who is athletic with long arms.
A 1-point lead for Concordia and 13 points for John Ziegler. There's Sistrunk out high working against Gehring.
Gehring really trying to sit in the lap of Whaley this time.
Oh,
Gehring.
Sistrunk for 3.
And he's just daring him to shoot from the outside.
And all right, he did. 9 points for Randy Sistrunk, the 6'4" senior from Canton, Ohio. There's Ziegler out high working against Jones. Isha inside Wernke, right at the big fella, but he stuck it in the crack. Back out Isha for 3. And Whaley high up top of everybody to snare that one. Walsh University with their first lead in quite some time, 30-28, as we wind it down here in the first half. Sistrunk. Here's Whaley on the pull-up from 10. Oh, my goodness.
They backed off of him that time. They didn't go with the double team because he was about 10 feet from the basket and does a good job of pulling up for the jump shot.
Smooth-looking jumper out of the first-team All-American. Here's Beck. The gauntlet just went through all the arms and defense of about 4 guys over there. But Concordia will have it for the final 15.8.
Well, Whaley really coming to play tonight, not only on the scoreboard, but he's really doing a good job of controlling the defensive glass.
Grant Schmidt wants timeout to talk it over for these final few seconds of the first half. Try to work on getting a good shot.
They need it right now, as it seems as though Whaley is taking over this ball, or in the midst of taking over this ball game right before the half. They need a little momentum builder. It's a good call that time by Grant Schmidt to pull his team together and make sure they understand and communicate the play that they're going to run on the out of bounds with 15.8 to go.
Well, talking to Coach Schmidt, he said our chemistry has been great this season. He said it's hard to scout heart. And he thinks that's what this team really has a lot of, guys like Scott Beck and Ziegler and Isha. And I imagine Coach Young would say the same thing about his team over there for Walsh University. And Coach Young really in his first full season at Walsh, after serving 14 seasons as an assistant coach, and as we talked about before, Coach Young also played at Walsh University.
Concordia doesn't really do anything well on the stat sheet. The only thing that really sticks out is your point guard is a leading rebounder at over 8 a game. Other than that, they don't shoot a great percentage. They play very good defense, though.
Beck lost the handle, and it will stay with Concordia. 8.6 left here in the first half. Let's see what they get out of the inbound from underneath their own hoop.
Beck has a bad tendency. He gets up in the air with nowhere to pass the basketball, and sometimes it creates a turnover.
Ziegler for 3, and that's the end of the first half. But a nice first half it was. Concordia led for most of the first half. Walsh with a little run toward the end for Coach Jeff Young, and they've taken a 4-point lead, 32-28. Now let's throw it to Adam Zucker. He's in the field house. Welcome back to Point Lookout, Missouri, everyone. Our halftime score, Walsh University on top by 4. And Neil Harwell and Doug Elston with you here courtside. What a first half we saw. 57% shooting out of the guys from Walsh University, not bad.
Well, they're getting the shots they want on the inside when they pound the ball inside to Whaley, who did a very good job, especially in the latter part of the first half. Excellent job at starting to take over the ball game.
The funny part, though, is Concordia led for most of the first half, Doug, and they did it with some fine outside shooting of their own, guys like Ziegler and Isha.
They did a very good job. Ziegler did a good job starting off. Isha really got in the mix a little bit later on, but how about the rebounding for Beck in the first half as well from the point guard spot?
Yeah, 8 rebounds out of your point guard. I guess most teams would take that. Let's take a look at the statistics here in the first half.
Well, there's your 57%, and Concordia doing a good job outside the arc, 5 of 12, and especially rebounding, 18 rebounds, 7 of those being offensive, leading to 9 second chance points versus 2 for Walsh. One thing, really doing a good job for keeping Concordia in this ball game, and you'd expect more of a dominance in the paint by Walsh with the big fella inside. But they're not getting it so far. Concordia doing a good job on the defensive end of the floor in double team and trying to get the ball out of his hands and making others beat him.
And so far, we have a good one going in the title game, the men's NAIA Division II National Championship game. Jeff Young of Walsh looking on, his team on top by 4. Walsh University leading Concordia University 32-28 here at halftime. Once the action on the court is done, the action at the field house heats up. Make sure to tune in to CSTV after all the day's games are complete for the NCAA March Madness highlights on CSTV, the official highlight show of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Our team of experts will break down the day's games as well as get you ready for tomorrow's action. NCAA March Madness highlights on CSTV Thursday through Sunday. Robert Whaley had a pretty good first half. He's in double figures with 10. Let's check those first half highlights.
Concordia doing an excellent job on the board so far in the first half, led by this guy, the point guard, Scott Beck. 8 rebounds in the first half, 2 of those being offensive, giving his team 3 more attempts at the basket. And a good job by Ziegler this time. He's got a game-high 13. Those were his first 2. And then he starts going from outside of the arc. 2 out of 3 outside the three-point line. And again, Ziegler doing a good job of finding Yesha outside the arc. 5 of 12 for Concordia in the first half. Really doing a good job of keeping them in this ball game. And a bright spot for them, but then Sistrunk with the basketball. He's an athletic slasher. You got to get down and play defense against him. He's doing a good job. Those free throw line jump shots, and Hicks from the outside got it going on. 2 of 3 outside the three-point line in the first half for his 8 points. But how about the big fella's agility? Somebody's got to get in this freight train's way as he goes all the way with the agile moves. The big fella Robert Whaley with 10 first half points to lead his team.
And Grant Schmidt, coach of Concordia, Nebraska, down by 4 here at halftime. His team has trailed in this tournament before, so no stranger there. In fact, they trailed by 17 against Cornerstone, Michigan in round 3 and end up winning that game by 3, and they were trailing by 17 in the second half with 13 minutes left. So 4 points is nothing right now to either of these teams. Took a lot of hard work for these two teams to get here, both Concordia and Walsh University. But how about this university here, the College of the Ozarks, Doug? Hard Work U, they call it.
Well, Hard Work U is every bit of that. You walk around campus, drive around campus, you see everybody working out hard. And they don't pay their tuition. They work for their tuition. Obviously, there's an endowment there for everybody, but they do a good job of keeping this place clean. Excellent job of hospitality. Can't say anything more. They give every team a plaque that they hand make on campus, stained glass with wood. But what an exceptional job of hospitality this school really gives everybody that joins it.
A few double-digit scorers here in the first half. There's one of them, Robert Whaley, had 10 points. John Ziegler, a lot of his work done from the outside. He had 13 points in half number one. Ziegler averaging 15 points a game on the season. A little higher than that here in the tournament, about 16 points a game. Whaley is averaging over 22 points a game in the tournament. And on the season, he's at about 20 a game. And the 6'10 senior showed you about every bit of his game there in the first half, how he can shape up on the blocks, get the shot up over the top, and he also showed us what he can do in transition.
Well, somebody's got to get in his way, but when you see Whaley really shape up on the blocks and really want and desire the basketball, he's virtually unstoppable. So when they come with that double team, they've got to come quick and hard and make sure the help side is there and rotates very quickly as well. And Concordia did a very good job of that in the first half of rotating very well, not giving Whaley a lot of outlets out of the double team.
Well, Jeff Young's team has already won 4 straight here in the tournament, as has Concordia. Walsh University won 13 straight games earlier this season. Really, to start off the new year, 2005, they did not lose until February. Here's Whaley down low, off glass. What a way to start the second half for Walsh.
Again, that footwork inside. If he turns and faces, Wernke's really got his work cut out. He's got to take away all of that excess space and really get up on Whaley.
Out high, Isha. Now to Ziegler. Isha and Ziegler each in double digits in scoring for Concordia. Here's Ziegler from way outside. Rebound is taken away by Beck, and right back at him.
Well, Beck doesn't look like one of those guys that jumps real high, but he jumps high and quick off the bounce.
And Doug, that's his 9th rebound. We got all these 6'9 and 6'10 and 6'8 guys out here. You got to go to the 6'1 point guard for the leading rebounder in this game. He's got 9 boards, 4 points. Whaley down low on the turnaround, and it drops through for the 6'10 senior.
Trying to put the team on his back early in the second half.
The lead is a half dozen for Walsh University. Off the screen, Isha from outside. High for the rebound, Sistrunk tipped it to Hicks. And here comes Jason Hicks on the pull-up in transition.
Oh, my.
And he knocks it home.
Jason Hicks now 3 of 4 outside the three-point line.
Largest lead of the ball game for Walsh, 39-30. Beck off the spin move. Around the perimeter to Isha. Up over the top to Ziegler. Stolen away, Sistrunk. Ahead of the pack. And lays it in.
Careful. This is one of those runs that Walsh can really get out on. They've got the tempo sped up to their favor right now, creating offense off their defense.
This second half could not have started much better for Walsh University. On the pull-up, Burr missed his shot, rebound, Whaley.
Concordia went from running a lot of time off the shot clock each and every possession to now only 7 to 8 seconds.
Here's Jones off the screen, dumps it down low, Whaley spinning and laying it in. He has 16 and 6 second half points.
Wernke not sure what to do at this point. Wernke goes about 220. He's giving up 45 to 50 pounds to Whaley.
And Coach Schmidt will not wait for the media timeout. He'll get one here at the 17-12 mark, as it's now a 13-point lead, Walsh University on top. Here's how they've done it, Doug. They've gone right to work with Robert Whaley.
With a good job of dumping it inside by Corey Jones this time. Whaley just feeling the pressure, going away from the pressure, and then directly to the glass. Very well coached by the big fella this time. 6 second-half points already in the first 2 minutes and 38 seconds of this first half.
A big start to this second half by Walsh University. We are at the Men's Division II Championship, the national tournament here in Point Lookout, Missouri. Neil Harwell along with Doug Elston. Walsh University against Concordia of Nebraska. Walsh is from Ohio. Walsh from North Canton, Ohio. School of about 2,000. Concordia, Nebraska, about 1,300. And these two teams going at it here in the national championship game. Jeff Young in the huddle right there. Listen to some of the head coaches they've had. Bob Huggins, he was the one that really got this program going. They had a 34-1 record back in the early 80s. Dan Peters, who went on to coach Division I at Youngstown State. Steve Loy, who passed away last year around this time. It was in February. He had cancer and unfortunately passed away. And Steve Loy, for 12 years, was such a solid coach here at Walsh University, and his longtime assistant was Jeff Young, who took over. And this is his first full season, Jeff Young, here at Walsh University. And what a season it's been, 26-8, and now playing in the title game, and right now leading by 13.
They've got to find a way. They've got to dig back into this basketball game. And obviously you had mentioned that Concordia has been down 17 in the second half, and they just chipped away at that lead. Eventually they were down 8, then 4, then took the lead and won the ball game. These guys are winners and have the ability to do so.
Whaley high for the rebound on that miss by Beck, as they went for the quick three-pointer that time. Corey Jones, Jason Hicks to the big fella. Whaley on the pull-up.
Oh, my.
If he's going to make that shot from 15, he's got 18 points.
That's tough. He's going to the basket. He's going away from good screen that time by Workey to free Beck for the easy layup, and good look.
So that ends a drought for Concordia. The lead was out to 15 after that last hoop by Robert Whaley.
Well, Concordia's got to dig back into this basketball game on the defensive end of the floor. They've got to find a way to stop that fella right there with the ball and throw double teams at him quickly.
Corey Jones from way outside.
I think he pointed to us. He was pointing over to us. Corey Jones. He can shoot it.
Couple of threes in the game now for Corey Jones, and the lead's out to 16. Rebound, Robert Whaley. Still plenty of time left in this one, but it's a 16-point game right now. We haven't even played 5 minutes in the second half, and it was only a 4-point lead at halftime.
Well, before Concordia catches their second win, which they will, you wonder if that lack of depth is really hurting them right now.
Lesh the rebound and put back his first two tonight. The 6'8" sophomore from Newark, Ohio. And the lead is 18 for Walsh University. Here's Isha in the lane, and he draws the foul on Robert Whaley, and that's foul number 2 on Whaley. We've got timeout on the floor. My goodness, Walsh University has jumped out to an 18-point lead here in half number 2. With an 18-4 run to start the second half, Concordia now trails it by 18. Walsh University on top, 50-32. Time now for the Odor Eaters' first half fancy feat. And we can look no further than the 6'10" Robert Whaley.
Well, Robert Whaley, 3 steals in the first half, and now he's doing an excellent job again in the second half by staying out in those lanes and making it difficult to get the ball inside.
The Odor Eaters' first half fancy feat. And those are some big dogs down there on the blocks right now. Second half, Doug, 89% out of Walsh University, and that's how you jump out to an 18-point lead. Here is Jason Isha at the free throw line. 2 out of 4 until that one. First points of the second half. Jason Isha, third-team All-American. That just announced today as he drains both those free throws. The 6'4" senior from Seward, Nebraska. So perhaps that gets Concordia going here. Here's Beck pressuring the ball all over Hicks out front. He bites the deck. Hicks into the lane. Lesh from outside.
That's a complimentary player right there. Lesh always does a very good job of just taking what is given to him, whether it be off the Whaley double teams or guys going and double teaming just like that we saw from Hicks.
Here's Beck out high. On the wing, Isha. To the other side, laid in Wernke. Good look over there.
Good look on the offensive end, very unselfish, but they've got to make it happen on the defensive end of the floor. 9 of 10 this half so far for Walsh.
Here's Sistrunk working against Ziegler. Now to Whaley. Double team. Spinning to the right side on the baseline. And this will be a foul on Wernke, and that is foul number 3 on the 6'9" senior.
Wernke really getting frustrated right now, just trying to find one way to stop him. And that time the double team came very quickly, and Wernke's got to learn that he can't let him go out of the other side of the double team.
Other than Wernke, neither team has been in any big foul trouble here tonight. And in fact, it's been a very briskly paced ball game. As far as just overall time goes, Whaley misses the first. Again, the transfer from Cincinnati had the season-ending ACL injury. He started 3 games for Cincinnati before that happened, and now lands here at Walsh University and gets the second one to go there and has 19 points in the basketball game to lead all scorers. 17-point lead for Walsh. Here's Wernke.
Movement right now for Concordia has really gone stale.
Boy, they worked it so well that time. Ziegler could not get it to fall. The foul will be on Sistrunk, and that's number 2 on Randy Sistrunk.
On that possession, everybody from Concordia was above the foul line, leaving it wide open for a good cut off a screen by Ziegler. But you could see that they look a little bit tired right now because they're playing a lot of defense at this point, and they're just not moving well offensively.
John Ziegler, first team all-conference in the Great Plains Athletic Conference.
This is interesting. Wernke now out of the ball game against Whaley. Their size is gone, or their height advantage is now gone on the bench.
Ziegler with both free throws, 65% on the season. He has 15 points in the game now.
Yisha now guarding Whaley inside. He's going to try to prevent him from getting the basketball in front of him.
Sistrunk down the lane. Offensive foul on Randy Sistrunk. Team foul number 4 in the second half. Foul number 3 on Sistrunk.
This is how they get back in the basketball game right now, is on the defensive end of the floor.
Brandon Weems checks in for Jeff Young, replacing Sistrunk.
He's got to continue to chip away at that 15-point lead.
Again, Grant Schmidt's Concordia, Nebraska team was down by 17 at the 13-minute mark in round 3 against Cornerstone, Michigan, and they won the game by 3 points. From outside, Isha. Rebound taken away by Gehring.
And see what that does with Yisha in the game and being the big guy.
How about Beck is there for the garbage? He's fouled. He just picked up his 10th rebound.
It's incredible on the offensive glass, but Yisha shooting the ball outside is bringing Whaley away from the basket right now. Whaley not even in the picture until right there, and then Beck hard nose and going to the basket again.
And Scott Beck, last night, Coach Schmidt told us, he said, "Mamas, don't let your point guards grow up to be Scott Beck." He does it in kind of an ugly way, gets it done, but you know what else he said? This guy is a tremendous winner. He's the guy that you want to pick. If there's a pickup game, he said, "I'm picking Scott Beck because his team just always wins," and that's all he's done here at Concordia University. A lot of heart with Scott Beck. 10 rebounds tonight from the point guard. 13-point ball game. Here's Hicks, a stroll into the lane, and Whaley tips it in. Nice work with the left hand. 21 points for Robert Whaley.
Look at him. Whaley now away from the basket, up the foul line, not able to help. And Yesha's shown that he can hit that outside jump shot.
Isha against Whaley, and Beck saves it. Shot clock now at 15. Beck spinning. Out high, Gehring. Gehring right to the rack and scoring with a quick move.
And again, Whaley not on the inside, really harping on that right now. They don't have the big fella to harp inside, so they're going to the basket at this point.
Well, you have to respect the shooting of Wes Gehring, who's 40% from the three line, and he showed you the quickness as they came out on him.
It's a good move by Coach Schmidt to go a little bit smaller right now. Really opening up the lanes.
Whaley back out high to Weems, now Jones. Here's Hicks. Hicks looking to penetrate, and a foul out high on Beck. As Jason Hicks, off the dribble that time, got into the lane and draws the foul on Beck, his first personal. And we have timeout on the floor. Well, Concordia's cut into that 18-point lead. It's now 13. You're watching CSTV. We have a good one going in the men's Division II championship game here at the NAIA level at Point Lookout, Missouri. Keeter Gymnasium on the campus of the College of the Ozarks. Whaley splits the defense up over the top and scores it.
Well, if they could get it to him with the double team not coming quickly, he can shoot over the top. 13 second half points in the first 8 minutes plus of the second half.
And again, this is his only season here at Walsh University, a senior, and he's the player of the year in men's Division II NAIA basketball. Gehring on the miss and knocked out of bounds, and it goes over to Walsh.
Walsh now 11 of 13 in the second half. Tremendous 83%. 4 of 11 for Concordia for 36% and 0 for 4 outside the three-point line, which kept him in the game in the first half.
Well, and 66% from the field for the game out of Walsh University, and really that's unheard of against this Concordia team. Other teams just don't shoot this well against Concordia, Nebraska, but tonight, Walsh University has got it going on with their big man, Robert Whaley. A turnover here, though.
Still, Concordia has not gone away here in this second half. As poorly as what they may have played and shot the basketball as well as Walsh has shot the ball, they're still within striking distance and can chip away. Very patient.
Off the shuffle cut, and then they get it out high to Beck, spinning in the lane. Ziegler tries the baseline, and scores it, and one.
There's the strong hands and penetration we talked about early on. Very strong hands and forearms for John Ziegler. He's just a freshman doing a good job of spinning away that time, taking the contact and strength to put it up. That is tough right there. He's just following with the elbows, absorbs the contact, and shoots a ball. Just a sophomore at 6'2".
From Lincoln, Nebraska, went to Lincoln Lutheran High School, missed the second. He was also an excellent football player. And he does not mind mixing it up, as we have seen here in this tournament. Lead is back to 13 for Walsh University as we approach the 10-minute mark here in the title game. Whaley lost it. Beck comes away. Actually, that's Isha that came away. And now to Scott Beck.
Look at Yesha. He's really spending his time either at the foul line or at the top of the key. He's pulling Whaley away from the basket. He's got to hit those shots.
On the miss, but there's Beck the rebound and then taken away. His 11th rebound of the game.
And 5th offensive.
Sistrunk to the rack. And a foul down low. This one will go against Concordia. And that's going to be on Isha. as Isha picks up his first personal foul, and that's the 4th team foul on Concordia. To the line, Randy Sistrunk. Actually, that's the 3rd team foul on Concordia. Boy, and Randy Sistrunk's been playing with a bit of a heavy heart, hasn't he, Doug?
Well, it's been difficult for him since Sunday.
Well, his roommate, and you see on his shoe, Seth McDonald, a football player from Walsh University, passed away in an automobile accident, and that was on Sunday. And so obviously our thoughts and prayers with the family of Seth McDonald and his family at Walsh University, and his roommate, Randy Sistrunk, playing here with a heavy heart in the tournament and playing well. On the wing, this is Gehring, spinning in the lane and scoring.
One of those guys that can really get it going from the outside, and they have to respect that. So he's driving now to the basket successfully.
And driving he has. Couple of times now for his 4 points, back to a 13-point game. Weems off to Hicks.
Whaley now on the bench, who was not as successful against the smaller Concordia team.
Chappelle in there now. He works free and draws the foul. And this foul will go against West Gehring, the 6'6" sophomore from Columbus, Nebraska. And to the free throw line, it will be Derek Chappelle, and let's see how he got there.
Chappelle does a good job here. He's really got a low foundation, very strong body. He does a good job of pump faking with the basketball, a lot of spin moves. He averages just shy of 5 points a game.
Well, why not? Strong foundation. He's a football player. Played here for the Cavs at Walsh University, and how about this in high school at Lutheran East High School in Euclid, Ohio. He was all-state in basketball and football, as this one turns over to Concordia on the miss, but 49 catches as a tight end for Chappelle as that one went off Sistrunk. That's going to be a foul on Sistrunk. That's his 4th personal foul. And the 6th team foul on Walsh. And Jeff Young, a bit of a problem there, as his first team all-conference performer will have to take a seat. Off the shuffle cut, Ziegler got it from Beck.
Nice, just dragging everybody outside, up top, and higher than the free throw line for easy layups.
19 points for Ziegler. Great look from Beck. Timeout on the floor. It's a 30-second timeout for Walsh University, as the lead is now 9 for the Cavaliers.
They're doing a good job here of getting the easy layup this time from Beck to Ziegler. And in a bigger view, here's where Ziegler starts. He comes around 2 screens, and there's got to be a guy here on the defensive side helping. That's the help side defense, which is going up to the top of the key this time, leaving it wide open for Ziegler for the easy layup. There's got to be help side defense there, and Concordia doing an excellent job of staying active and keeping that help side defense moving higher.
Well, neither team, talking to these coaches, has a lot of depth. That's tough on you in a tournament like this. And with 8:45 left, 5th game in 6 days, the fatigue, the bumps and bruises, the toll that has been taken here on these players will have to start showing up down the stretch. But it's the national tournament. You're playing on adrenaline. You're keeping it alive, Doug.
That's exactly right. And don't look now. Just down 11 points, Concordia making it happen defensively, so they put Whaley back into the ball game, still against the smaller Concordia crew.
Still in the man-to-man defense. Both teams man-to-man in this ball game.
Really got to help out Yisha inside against Whaley. They're not looking over the top, and when they do, there's help side defense coming.
Hicks with the penetration. Nice defense by Beck. Lesh saved it to Whaley. Whaley into the lane, and the rebound to Ziegler.
Well, and they're really putting 2 and 3 guys on Whaley right now, and everybody else from Walsh is staying outside the 3-point line. Out high Ziegler.
And stolen away. Hicks around his world, and then knocked away by Isha. Fortunately for Walsh, Weems was right there. Hicks gets a screen out high as they work against the man-to-man defense. That's Steve Corretto in there now covering Weems. They lob it to Whaley, and a foul on the backside against Concordia, and that's going to be on Isha, his second. We've got timeout on the floor as we wait for Whaley to go to the free throw line, and it's Walsh leading by 11. We're in Point Lookout, Missouri, the campus of the College of the Ozarks. Keeter Gymnasium in the men's Division II National Championship. It's Walsh by 11. Log on to CSTV.com or NCAAsports.com to order NCAA March Madness on demand, powered by CSTV, and get live action from up to 56 games. You can watch every game not televised in your region live on your PC. Sign up at CSTV.com or NCAAsports.com. Robert Whaley to the free throw line, and big fella tonight with 23 points, 10 out of 15 shooting. How about his work on the evening?
Concordia is doing a very good job right here. You see, freeze it right there. You can see a front right here by Yisha. Here is your help side defense, which has got to come when the pass goes over the top. That's the only thing that Whaley could do right there. Very good job by the defense from Concordia, and Whaley just with a quick shot.
Whaley misses both. Scott Beck, again the point guard. Rebound number 13 here tonight.
That's just an incredible stat.
Down low they work it. Wernke, who just came back in, and he draws the third personal foul on Whaley.
Well, he's rested right now. He's had some time on the bench. He saw a good strategy there by Coach Gary Schmidt and the Concordia Bulldogs in going small. They know it works, but they have to give Yisha a break, which he's on the bench right now, catching his breath a little bit. He will come back into the game. I'm sure a smaller strategy will work again.
Marcus Wernke, the 6'9" senior from Phoenix, Arizona, but he's only a 53% free throw shooter. Whaley, who shot him on the other end, who now has his third personal foul, only a 59% free throw shooter. So a couple of big guys that get to the line frequently, but don't shoot it too well. And misses two here. Lesh goes down, and they're going to call a foul on Concordia. I think it's on Beck. That's number 2 on Beck. 6th team foul on Concordia.
Beck just trying to root his way under that time, under Lesh, and Lesh was up in the air. Beck just rooting his way, trying to grab another rebound.
8 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 assists. I think I saw 3 assists on last count for Beck. Here's Hicks. Dumping it down low. Whaley up over the top. Rebound Ziegler. How about that? The shot was taken about a foot over the rim. The rebound pulled away below the net. Here goes Beck down the lane. Up and down as Hicks got a hand on it. Tied ball stays with Concordia. We're at Point Lookout, Missouri, the campus of the College of the Ozarks, Keeter Gymnasium. Neil Harwell along with Doug Elston here on CSTV. Glad to have you with us here in the title game. Ziegler to Wernke. Corretto, now Gehring. Ziegler has 19 points. Here he is with the basketball. Down the lane, had it spanked, but fouled down low by Jason Hicks.
Again, you can see that Whaley is now really probing on the inside in the lane right now. With Wernke back in the basketball game, there is Whaley. Closes very quickly and just ping-pongs it against the glass. When Wernke is in the basketball game, then Whaley can play inside and be that threat that he is at 6'10", 265. Going against a smaller defense, they pull him away from the basket.
Ziegler with great work on the evening. Now with 20 points. You're right, Doug. 2 of the best shot blockers in NAIA Division II on this floor here tonight. In fact, the best shot blocker is Wernke with 108 blocks on the season. Isha checks in. Whaley came in with 76 blocks on the season. So a lot of times in NAIA Division II, you break down that early wave. You don't have big shot blockers to contest your shot. Not in this game.
And as you look up, they just cut the lead to 9 again.
21 for Ziegler. Corey Jones works against Ziegler. From outside Lesh, that's out. A 3 out of Adam Lesh, just a 19% three-point shooter on the season. He was only 3 of 16 coming into the tournament. Down low, Wernke. And I think his headband blinded him. It went down over his eyes like a pirate. And he threw it out of bounds. Don't think I've seen that before, Doug.
Yo, Coach, give me a headband that sticks tight to my dome.
Walsh on top by a dozen after that big 3 by Adam Lesh. Hicks on the breakdown. Sistrunk back into with the 4 fouls. Jones from the parking lot.
Those were 2 enormous possessions, the last 2 possessions by Walsh.
The lead is out to 15 on that big 3 ball by Corey Jones. 3 threes tonight from Corey. It was 4 of 7 from the 3 line last night. On the pull-up, Beck, and he drains it. And he has a double-double tonight. 10 points, 13 rebounds. So Concordia answers back. Still 5:25 left. Timeout on the floor. It's a 30 called by Grant Schmidt.
There's a double team right here against Whaley, leaving one guy open. Right there at the top of the key is Lesh, absolutely draining the shot at 6'8", and we talked about it. He takes what the defense always gives to him, works very well off of Whaley, and goes away from the pressure. This time draining three-point shots again was Corey Jones, 41% outside the three-point line for the season. And we talked about he really got it going last night in the first half when they allowed him to look at the basket. He was 3 for 3 outside the three-point line for 14 first-half points in the semifinal game.
Well, we talked about Corey Jones playing for Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's High School, along with LeBron James and also Brandon Weems, as Jeff Young looks on for Walsh University. But Corey Jones shot over 50% from the 3 line in high school.
You think he worked off LeBron a little bit? LeBron to go to the rim. Hey, pitch it out to Corey.
That's right, I believe he did. Here's Sistrunk on the pull-up from the elbow. Rebound, Isha. 13-point game. Walsh University of Ohio on top. Concordia, Nebraska with the basketball. Near steal by Hicks. Ziegler went on the floor. Coach Schmidt wants a timeout. There's no call over there. Play on in the national championship game. Isha backs up.
Oh, 3! Fortunately, didn't get that timeout or the foul.
Well, Coach Schmidt says we've won ugly all season. That was ugly till the shot. And the lead is now to 10 for Walsh University. There's a foul on Beck as he is pesky out there tracking Hicks.
Both teams now in the bonus throughout the rest of this ball game. Walsh will be shooting 2. I'm sorry, Concordia will be shooting 2 throughout.
To the line, Jason Hicks.
Until they just changed the foul count.
Yeah, 18 fouls on the scoreboard. And Hicks to the line. From Cleveland, Ohio, 5'10", sophomore. So he transfers in from the University of Akron. And the shooting from the free throw line, not very good tonight. Only 39% before that attempt on the night for Walsh University. But from the field, they're absolutely unconscious and on fire. 63% from the field and 62% from the 3 line.
And believe it or not, Concordia is out-rebounding Walsh, as well as Walsh is shooting the ball 26 to 21, 11 of those 26 being offensive rebounds.
Ziegler off the shuffle cut, and Beck found him again for assist number 4, and Ziegler with 23. We approach the 4-minute mark in the national championship game.
Walsh still doing a good job of keeping Concordia at arm's distance. Now looks like they're trying to take a little more time off the clock.
Great look down low to Sistrunk. And Hicks got him the basketball. And 15 points for Sistrunk. Timeout on the floor with 3:57 left. We'll leave it right here. The lead is a dozen for Walsh University. And time again, they've had the answer just when it looks like Concordia is creeping back in, Doug. Walsh will go on a little mini run. Here's the tournament resume for the Walsh Cavaliers. Round one, they beat Tabor from Kansas by 6. Then they defeated Embry-Riddle, who won the title in 2000. Embry-Riddle did, from Florida. They win that game by 2. Then they beat Northwestern Iowa, another former champion of this tournament. They win that one by 7. And then Oregon Tech, last year's winner, they won by 7 last night. So Walsh going through a lot of very strong opponents to get here into the title game. Concordia, a tough road as well. They played on Thursday and beat Trinity Christian from Illinois. Then it was Flagler from Florida. They win by 7. Then it's Cornerstone they won after trailing by 17. They come back and win that game. And then last night they beat Cedarville from Ohio by 6. So Concordia with a record of 32-5. They are the tournament champions from the Great Plains Athletic Conference. Northwestern Iowa won the regular season title in the conference. And Walsh University from the American Mid-East Conference, the Southern Division. And Grant Schmidt, who's never had a losing season. And Jeff Young in his first full season here at Walsh University. But he's been there for a long time. Both these coaches have. They both played and now coach at the university that they started at. Here goes Beck. Nobody picked him up.
Oh, my.
Whaley came in and wiped it out of there.
That is his second block of the night to go along with 3 steals for Robert Whaley. Both teams have just found ways to win. Right now it looks like they're just spreading the floor just a little bit more and trying to take a little bit more time off the clock for each and every possession.
Weems, Hicks, and Jones, the 3 guards in the game right now. Sistrunk and Whaley, your other 2 on the floor. They take it all the way down. Jones missed the 3. And now on the attack, the Bulldogs of Concordia, Nebraska. Inside of 3 minutes. And it's Wernke. Off to Ziegler. Takes on Whaley and gets the roll.
Good strength again by Ziegler going inside.
25 points in the game for John Ziegler. And a blocking foul going against Beck.
Oh, Beck just trying to make things happen at this point. Just trying to find a way.
We've got timeout on the floor. Scott Beck thought he had an open drive last time down, but the 6-10 player of the year in NAIA Division II with the rejection. Championship game, it's Walsh University leading by 10. And now let's take a look at the State Farm drive of the game as John Ziegler put it on spin cycle at the end of this drive.
Yes, he did. He tries to go baseline here and does a good job of spinning away from the contact, seeing the big fellas, but very strong hands as he goes to the rim. Very good strength to get the ball up to the rim.
Jason Hicks to the free throw line. He's hit both his free throws here tonight. And on the season, he is 83%. And he's a guy that came in at the end of the ball game, came on to hit a bunch of free throws and put Oregon Tech away in the semifinals. Misses the second, rebound Wernke. So it's an 11-point game, 2:40 left as Scott Beck dribbles it up the floor.
Good cut.
Ziegler once again off that cut. Spins in the lane and can't get it to go. Rebound battle for Weems at 5'9". The freshman comes out of there. Now to Jones. And then Hicks through the fray and the lob.
Oh!
Lordy have mercy!
And one of two guys could have got that.
Hicks lofted it up for the streaking 6'10" senior Whaley.
Oh, no, he didn't.
With his own personal break this time and a blocking foul on Wernke. Let's look again at big fella from Benton Harbor, Michigan, filling the lane.
How about Hicks averaging almost 4 assists per game, just throwing it up, and all two guys could have gotten that one, but a very good job by Whaley to go up and grab it.
Doug, I got to tell you, I didn't think big man was going to make it there.
Oh, goodness.
All of a sudden, he kind of kicked it into another gear as he and Hicks made eye contact. 25 tonight for Whaley. And Hicks at 5'10", the rebound of the missed free throw.
Walsh doing a good job right now finishing the ball game.
Foul out front on Ziegler. He'll send Sistrunk to the free throw line. That is the second personal foul on Ziegler, and now in the double bonus is Walsh University, and here's Randy Sistrunk to the line, the 6'4" senior from Canton, Ohio. Two-time first-team all-conference. More good work out of Sistrunk here tonight. A little strong in the second, but there's Hicks again. And Coach Jeff Young signaling for an entire reset of the offense to work the shot clock here.
Good plays down the stretch by Hicks. Just big plays, just a sophomore.
There's a steal out front by Isha. Taking on Whaley and scoring.
Got to press.
Boy, Concordia will not go away.
They were lucky that time.
They have a lot of heart. That cuts the lead to 12 as they have timeout with 1:21 left. Let's look again at Jason Isha and his anticipation.
Oh, he does a good job at just anticipating, like you said, but he's letting it all hang out that time as Hicks lets the ball get a little bit away from him, going to the basket, and there's Isha going right for it. He's going to try to make something happen, either get his two or get fouled, and Whaley does a good job of letting him go, but the ball just got away from Hicks just a little bit for Isha to grab the ball and get a nice layup. And again, just hanging around in this basketball game, a minute 21 to go. They've got to get their three-point shooters involved very quickly, make something happen on the defensive end of the floor. But the three-point shooters have been Benjamin Burr, number 44, shooting 40%, and Wes Gehring outside. Not to mention John Ziegler with a good game so far in this game. He's 3 of 7 outside the three-point line.
Well, 121 to work with. The lead is a dozen for Walsh University. We look in the huddle of Concordia, Nebraska, and they know something miraculous needs to happen here in the final minute 21 here in the title game. Boy, you talk about Walsh University, and every time it looked like the Bulldogs of Concordia were creeping back into the ball game, somebody would hit a big shot for Coach Young. I think back to Lesh, Jones, Whaley, Hicks, you name it. Those guys were there. Sistrunk.
Oh, you're right. That stretch where Lesh and Jones hit consecutive three-point shots was a real big stretch for Walsh.
Near steal by Ziegler. Out high Hicks. And a foul will go against Concordia, and that will go against Beck, and that is, actually it's going to be on Coretto. That's his first personal foul.
How about the shooting in the second half, really from both teams, but especially from Walsh at 68% in the second half.
Yeah, their shooting has been absolutely incredible tonight, and that's something, again, that Concordia does not see. A great shooting effort from the other team. In fact, in the tournament, as we talked about, no team has really shot close to 40% against them. They do such a nice job in the half-court set But tonight, everything going in from the outside and the inside for Walsh University. 62% from the field, 57% from the three line. The only place they're struggling is from the free throw line. 45% in the game until that one stroked home by Hicks.
Two guys shooting the vast majority of the shots. Sistrunk at 6 of 10. Whaley at 11 for 18. Everybody else over 67%.
Gehring too strong. Rebound Hicks. Ahead of the pack is Sistrunk. Working on Ziegler and scoring. 17 for Randy Sistrunk. Beck on the pull-up for three. Rebound Gehring, back to Beck. In the corner, this one rings home for Corretto. So timeout once again on the floor after that three ball. It's a 13-point game. Walsh on top with 37.3 left. Well, congratulations again to both these teams for making it into the final game here tonight. Again, 5 games in 6 days. These NAIA tournaments that are played, 4 of them obviously, 2 at the Division II level, men's and women's. And next week, which you'll also see here on CSTV, Kansas City is where the men's game is played at, the Division I men's game at Municipal Auditorium, and the women's game is played in Jackson, Tennessee. So stay tuned for that. That will be next Tuesday right here on CSTV. But these tournaments at the NAIA level are so tough to win because you have to win all those games in the span of a week. Doug, you think about the NCAA tournament, they stretch that out over about 3 weeks to get it done.
Well, yeah, and it's difficult then to go against a guy like Whaley at 265. He'll wear your legs out in a ball game. And if you've already played 4 games before the night in 5 or 6 days, and you got to go against him like Wernke did, eventually your legs are going to give. Just a guy like that just leaning on you and wearing on you will eventually take its toll.
Well, and you see the great sportsmanship out here out of these two teams, as there was a foul committed in the backcourt, and Beck has fouled out with those 5 personal fouls, and he gets a great hand over there. Congratulations from his coach. And this guy was fun to watch play. He gave everything out there tonight. 10 points, 14 rebounds, his second double-double here in the tournament. Jones hits the first free throw. He has 10 now, but for my money, nobody asked me to vote on it, but I give him the Hustle Award. Scott Beck of Concordia. Jones drops home the second. What a great shooter Corey Jones is. On the move, Ziegler. From way outside, Corretto. Long distance, 2 3-pointers here in the second half. Stolen away. Here's Burr off to Ziegler. He pulls up from 3. And taken away by Jones with 20 seconds and another foul on Concordia. Well, they just keep pounding away even though they're down 12. Coach Schmidt's team, just like they've done all season long. Both these schools have really, over the last couple of decades, have been building some really solid programs. Of course, Grant Schmidt in his 16th season here also played at Concordia. And then Jeff Young, really the first full season as the head coach, and he was the American Mid-East Conference Coach of the Year, as Jones again hits 2 free throws. Young also played at Walsh University and has been there for quite some time as an assistant coach before taking over the head job. Isha from outside, and that one rattles home. 20 points for Isha now. And that's going to be your ball game. Walsh University from Ohio, from North Canton, Ohio. National champions here in Point Lookout, Missouri. Walsh wins it by 11. They are the national champions. We'll be back to recap this one. You're watching CSTV. Ohio, the national champions. There's the player of the year in NAIA Division II, Robert Whaley. It's been a long road. He's had a lot of issues along the way, highly touted from Benton Harbor High School. His senior season ends in the national championship here for Walsh University. Let's take a look at our All-State Good Hands play of the game. And of course, delivered from Hicks to Whaley. And this really finished things off here in the national tournament. Whaley had 25 points here tonight. And give that great, nice assist to Jason Hicks, the 5'10 sophomore. Now let's go to Doug Elston with the happy coach. Doug?
Thanks, Neil. Here with Jeff Young and Coach Young, the 27th win. Definitely the sweetest. How do you feel?
Feel pretty good about it, especially after what our guys went through last year with the loss of Coach Loy and not winning many games. We kind of put this thing together over the summertime, and we struggled a little bit early on in the season, and the guys worked hard and believed in what we were doing, and they really played well down the stretch.
What was the run that really put you over the edge in the second half?
It was back and forth all first half, and we came out of the gate for whatever reason, really scored the ball quick, and started to get some stops defensively, and before we knew, we had an 18-point lead, and we were able to hang on from there.
Well, how about the production from Robert Whaley tonight?
Well, I'd be surprised if Rob wasn't the player of the year in the NAIA. He's had a great tournament. He's had a great run all year long. I'm real proud of the way Rob's handled himself through the course of this tournament, and he just did a great job.
Coach, congratulations to you and Walsh. Neil, back to you.
Thank you, Doug, and Coach Young. In fact, he is the player of the year in NAIA Division II. And he's also our player of the game. It's time to look at our Sirius Satellite Radio player of the game. It could be none other than Robert Whaley, the 6'10 senior from Benton Harbor, Michigan. He shot it well tonight. He scored 25 points, and he really got this team going in the second half. Right out of the gate, they led by only 4 at halftime. That lead blossomed to 18 behind Whaley in the second half. They went on to win it by 11. And he was a lot of fun to watch here from Branson, Missouri, Point Lookout, Missouri. Robert Whaley, our Sirius Satellite Radio player of the game. So, Doug, this was a good, fun tournament, as it always is. Great hospitality by the folks here from this area in Branson and Point Lookout, Missouri, and our host college, the College of the Ozarks. As always, they do it upright, and we had a lot of fun.
Well, an exceptional job, as you mentioned, by College of the Ozarks. Great hospitality, and a word that's very overused is great, but they really project that day in and day out at this tournament. You got to give both of these teams, as well as the other 32 teams in this tournament that really came to play throughout. Walsh and Concordia really letting it hang out, and both teams finding a way to win throughout, and Walsh just too much of Robert Whaley at the end.
Congratulations to Concordia University. They're the runner-up here in the national tournament. And Walsh University, the national champion. Our final score, Walsh wins it 81-70. For Doug Elston and our entire CSTV crew, I'm Neil Harwell. For more, log on to CSTV.com, the ultimate destination for scores, news, highlights, and analysis. This has been a presentation of CSTV College Sports Television, the #1 leader in college sports.
At a time when sports are heading in the wrong direction, the NAIA is changing the culture of sport. Through the Champions of Character program, our college students are learning character traits that change behaviors. And they're bringing the message to coaches, parents, and teams nationwide. Visit NAIA.org and learn how your team can become champions of character.